Hey, welcome back everybody. Once again, as always, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. So what you're watching here is me stacking the oak that I split in the previous video. At the time, I was out of IBC totes, so I used the new Wolf Ridge 16-foot conveyor that I have on demo from Woodman Cycles and just sent it straight up the conveyor into the dump trailer. Now, since then, I've sold some firewood through the stand. I freed up a couple IBC totes, and I was able to go ahead and stack out of the trailer, and it works real well. For the most part, maybe your bottom 3 layers that you're seeing me stack right here now, you bend over a little bit, but you can pretty much throw stack it. It's a really good way of doing it. It's the same thing as touching it when you stack it directly off the splitter, or you touch it now if you conveyor it into the trailer and stack it. The same amount of touches. So I wound up getting these 2 totes full, and you could see there's a little bit of wood left in the trailer. So off camera, when I had another IBC tote empty, the stuff in the trailer was another half of an IBC tote, and there's a few more oak rounds behind the trailer there that I finished splitting. Wound up getting 3 full IBC totes of oak. Here I'm getting ready to scoop them up, take them next door to Woodyard number 2 so they can start seasoning. So here we are bringing the first tote we stacked over to Woodyard number 2. For those of you new to the channel, I have a second Woodyard, which is about 200 yards down the road on my neighbor. He is a big farmer in the area, and he has allowed me to store as much firewood over here as I want, and it's a great place to store firewood. For the most part, it is sunny all day over here, and it has always got a good breeze, so it dries very, very quickly over here. And in turn, I do the right thing. Anytime he calls me, if he's got a tree that has fallen into the field, I go cut it up for him and push it out of the way, and it's more free firewood, so it's a win-win. So here you're seeing me come back with a second tote, and real quick, I just gotta say, what a great addition this Coyote tractor was. It has enabled me to split directly into totes or stack out of the dump trailer into totes, pick them up with the tractor, bring them next door and set them down, and then when it comes time to sell them after their season, pick them back up and take them to the roadside stand. Saved me so many touches on these splits, a lot of energy and a lot of time. So this is a real quick view of what's in Woodyard 2. There's some ugly splits bins. All that newer looking firewood has been split late summer. All seasoning. There's 20 totes down through there, and then all the stacked rows that you're looking at here was split last fall. It's all oak. Some of it was split on early this spring down on the end, and after this all sells, we're going directly into all IBC totes, and this whole area will be full of totes. So now I'm going to take you guys on some real quick clips of the Paul Bunyan show. I got the camera out very little because I think sometimes when you're behind the camera, you kind of miss out trying to focus on the camera lens and not really taking the show in. And to me, it wasn't about purchasing anything. It was more about the fellowship, meeting people, meeting subscribers, and then getting that good fellowship after the show restaurant, hotel, stuff like that. As you can see, there was a lot of booths at the show, and the camera isn't doing it justice. There was more off both ends of the track. It was just an amazing show. Here's Bob Nelson using their new hopper feeder that Wolfridge just came up with. And you'll notice how low the sides are on this, and that's what really made it stand out in my opinion. Jenin, one of my buddies, noticed the same thing. You can throw rounds into it by hand if you don't have a tractor, so really nice design. Now here's my buddy Jacob King from King Farms and Firewood. He was wanting to run the new 17 VS with Power Beyond, so I got a real quick shot of him running that. And this is where I kind of spent most of my time, either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, was in the Wolfridge booth. Now here's Bob Nelson handing him this very nasty round. You kind of see the capabilities and the power of these vertical machines. So I'm going to let you watch the splitting. In a minute you're going to see me splitting with the new 17XS, and there's going to be just real short clips here at Bunyan, and then we're going to be doing some cutting. Now this is Britt from Foothills Firewood. I had the pleasure of meeting Britt for the first time at the show, and that's what it's all about for me. Had a great time with him and his wife. He's going to get his run on the 17XS, and you might be able to tell Britt is used to autocycle. As you can see right there, he was laughing at himself by hitting the lever thinking it was going to run a full cycle on its own. He got used to it real quick though. Well, the show's over and it's back to work, so I'm over at the family farm continuing work on the log pile because I need to get these maple logs cut up and home so I can get them split and get that seasoning process started. So thought I'd throw a little bit of this in there to make the video more interesting. This maple is cutting like butter. I go ahead and use two different saws. The only saws that I have, the MS400 and the 261, and get a good trailer load of logs to head to the house here. As you can see, the fog in the background, it was about a 55-degree morning here. Perfect morning to go cutting some firewood. So I took full advantage of it. Alright guys, so there's one tank through the 261, and although these log piles are awesome, after a while you need to stop and clean it up. I'm throwing sawdust all over my rounds, which is okay because as soon as you grab them it falls off, but the trip hazard starts to become pretty critical there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'm not going to bring you guys along and bore you for the loading of that. Just going to back the dump trailer real close to the side there and just toss them in, and probably get out the 400C, give the 261 a break, and finish filling this trailer up. All right, everybody, I got the trailer full, and you can see I had a stringer from here to the end of that one. I cut the rest of what was logs, what's left on the two stringers, and cut them up, and I'm already starting on the second stringer, which they were right at 13.5 feet long, the stringers. And I'll show you what I got left over here on the log pile. Looks to me like it's going to be about another dump trailer full, and the one we just cut is the second dump trailer full from all of the thinning that my wife's stepdad has been doing down around the old lake, which is now a sinkhole, and he's wanting to turn that back into a lake. So he's clearing all the maple out. But look at the beautiful load of rounds here we got. 400 and 261. Awesome. Got the job done again. I ran the 261 most of the time because with this size rounds, there's really no use for or no need to have a 70cc saw unless you just want it. Nice 50cc saw, no matter what you're running, Echo, Husqvarna, or a Steel, is perfect for these size rounds, and you can run it all day long. So if you want to stick around to the end, I am going to head home, and I'm going to show you the start of a little project I got going on there. Not quite sure how long these videos are getting. When you work full time and you just kind of, you know, capture bits and pieces of stuff that you're doing every day in the wood yard and put a video together, by the time you get to the third and fourth day, you really don't know what kind of footage you've got. And I just, like always, just mesh it all together and put something out there that hopefully you guys are enjoying watching. All right, so we are back home with the load, and it is just going to stay on the trailer because I told you I had a little project to get started. Last night I went to the local farm supply store and picked up 3 cattle panels. For those of you not familiar with cattle panels, we use them a lot here in the Midwest, and it's like a 10 or 11 gauge heavy duty wire. They will pretty much stand up on their own, but that's my idea for right here. I am going to go ahead and build a bunker back here on the gravel. I'm going to drive some T-posts. You might be able to see them right there on the trailer. I picked up some T-posts and some cattle panels. It's going to be about 16 feet long, running along the front here. And then I'm going to take one of those cattle panels and cut it in half. So about 8 foot by 16 foot. And I think that's going to be a perfect spot to go ahead and use the conveyor and split this maple into, because picking that up and throwing it in the trailer, it is almost all the way dry in log form. It was sitting at the farm for since late February, early April, and maple dries really, really fast. Some of it was checked really far up the ends of the logs, and I think once I get it split open, won't be long, these leaves will be falling and I'll have full sun all day long. And so hopefully by springtime sales, recreational sales, it'll be dry and ready to put into the firewood stand. And speaking of firewood stand, I just got home. I'll spin around here. It was full when I left this morning to go cut. And you can see right through it now. It looks like I sold 4 loose stacks and some bundles off the front. So got to get that done. But guys, I appreciate y'all sticking around for this video. Not even sure what it's going to be about. Kind of a pieced together video of just everything that goes on here. Like I said before, I got a lot of stuff to do. And that there needs cleaned up too. All the uglies from tree service. I got a big pile to sort through. And stay tuned for a couple upcoming things. I got a special guest going to be stopping by tomorrow on his way back from the Paul Bunyan show. So look for some videos coming out on a collaboration in the wood yard. And we got some stuff over here to saw. And now we've got some wood to split. So I appreciate y'all being here. Until next time, as always, get outside. We'll see you.